40%. Just let that number sink in for a second. Imagine looking at your quarterly reports and seeing a 40% jump in pure, unadulterated team productivity. We're not talking about some tiny single-digit tweak here. We're talking about a massive structural leap in how a business operates. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking exactly how one tech giant actually hit this staggering number, fundamentally shifting their operations, their revenue trajectory, and the way their teams work every single day. So let's dive right in. We're looking at a phenomenal use case today. HubSpot's absolutely incredible 40% AI productivity leap using Anthropic's Claude. Look, if you're an executive constantly hunting for leverage, trying to figure out how to drive revenue growth without just massively bloating your headcount, this is going to be incredibly eye-opening. We're going to see exactly how AI is transitioning from a fun tech experiment into a core operational engine. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the AI productivity leap, then move into driving hospitality revenue. After that, we'll cover faster prototyping and engineering and wrap it all up with your new strategic partner.
Part 1. The AI productivity leap. Let's look at how HubSpot's core mission to help small businesses grow is really what drove them to adopt Claude.
They realized incredibly early on that this was, quote, a fundamental change to the way we would work. And I love that phrasing because it perfectly captures the difference between a simple, iterative tool and a truly transformative one. This wasn't about, upgrading a spell checker or slightly speeding up data entry. HubSpot saw that AI was going to completely rewrite the operational playbook, not just for their internal teams, but ultimately for every single customer relying on their platform.
Moving on to part 2, driving hospitality revenue. This is where we get into the real-world ROI across customer success and marketing. Okay, so there's a really crucial concept here, and that's taste. In the marketing world, taste is basically the holy grail, right? It's the ability to generate uniquely on-brand content that doesn't sound like a robot wrote it, but actually feels like a specific, genuine human voice. Well, when HubSpot generated their first product pages using AI, they didn't get that typical, bland corporate speak. They got output that nailed their brand perfectly on the very first try. And you want to know the crazy part? The ingredients they used to get this high-level output are shockingly simple. They literally just fed the AI a call transcript and a couple of knowledge base articles. That is it. From those incredibly basic inputs, the AI synthesized the context, the tone, the strategic goal, and gave them something so good the user actually said, it genuinely felt like it was my voice. For those of you running teams, think about the immense leverage here. You're taking raw, existing data, calls, and articles, and instantly turning it into highly strategic, ready-to-use marketing assets. So how does this actually apply to client revenue? Let's look at a really powerful example from the source, a hospitality business that was actively struggling. They needed to find cost savings, and fast. Using Claude, HubSpot walked through 3 exact steps. Step 1, ingest their historical reporting. Step 2, analyze the best and worst performing weekends. And step 3, identify those hidden cost savings and pinpoint the revenue opportunities. The AI wasn't just summarizing data here. It was acting like a senior financial analyst, spotting historical trends that human eyes might have missed entirely or at least taken weeks to compile. And that leads us right into the most exciting part. This deep analytical capability fundamentally transformed the customer success role. Armed with these AI-generated insights, the customer success manager wasn't just, checking in to see if the client was logging in. They were handing them a strategic roadmap for financial recovery. As the source points out, offering this level of strategic consultation is so far beyond the typical CSM role. You're effectively upskilling your entire frontline team overnight, turning them into high-value strategic consultants. And the validation? It came straight from the client, who literally said, "This is the best conversation I've ever had with HubSpot." Wow. That right there is the sound of client retention. That's brand loyalty. When you use AI to directly uncover revenue growth and drive business efficiency for your clients, you elevate the whole experience. You go from being just another vendor to becoming an absolutely indispensable partner. Which brings us to Section 3, faster prototyping and engineering. Let's shift gears and look at the massive efficiency gains for the technical teams building the product. Just contrast the old reality with this new AI workflow. The old way was bogged down by heavy, burdensome codebase maintenance. Taking a raw idea and turning it into a working prototype was just a slow, agonizing process. Now, look at the AI way. The time it takes to maintain that codebase, dramatically reduced. The timeline from idea to prototype, massively decreased. This means your time to market for new features shrinks exponentially.
You're no longer paying top-tier engineers to do janitorial work on old code. You're unleashing them to do high-impact, value-adding feature development.
And you know what the best byproduct of all this technical efficiency is? Employee morale. One engineer actually said, "I feel like my job hasn't been this fun in a long time." When you strip away the friction, the tedious maintenance, and all those roadblocks from your team's day-to-day, they don't just work faster. They're way more engaged. They're freed up to tackle the exciting projects that actually move the needle for the business. Because at the end of the day, happy, unblocked engineers ship much better products, a whole lot faster.
Finally, Section 4, your new strategic partner. If you only take away one single thing from this explainer today, let it be a total shift in how you categorize this technology. We have got to stop viewing AI as just another software subscription and start seeing it for what it truly is, an absolute amplifier of human expertise. Developers noted that Claude Code actually helped them become better engineers. It acts as a true strategic partner, generating immense leverage across the entire team. And when you get that kind of leverage, when every department feels that 40% productivity boost, the entire operational capacity of your business expands, completely independent of your payroll. Ultimately, this all ties back to a shared mission between companies like HubSpot and Anthropic. It's about giving people access to tools and information so they can build businesses in ways that literally were not possible before. It's about empowering companies to shape the world and shape the economy by completely removing those historical bottlenecks of time, resources, and slow manual analysis. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought to chew on. We've seen the hard data, we've seen the real-world applications driving engineering speed and massive revenue and customer success. So, if your competitors are already operating with a 40% AI productivity boost, if they're prototyping faster, cutting costs, and handing strategic insights to their clients in seconds, how will your business shape the economy tomorrow? The tools to completely transform your enterprise are sitting right in front of you. The only question now is, how quickly are you going to integrate them as your new strategic partner? Thanks for hanging out with me on The Explainer today.